Seth Rollins gets put to sleep. Gunther's brutal attack on Raw changes everything. Seth Rollins came back medically cleared, full of fire, ready to finish what he started, and within minutes, the ring general choked him unconscious in front of the entire world at Madison Square Garden. And you want to talk about who's ready for WrestleMania? Because right now, the most dangerous man heading into Las Vegas isn't even in the WWE Championship picture. It's a cold, calculating Austrian who just sent a message so loud it shook the walls of the most famous arena on the planet. And the wildest part? Nobody saw this coming. Nobody. But looking back now, every single sign was there. Let's rip this apart from the beginning. Because what happened on Raw this past Monday was not a random act of violence. This was orchestrated. This was deliberate. And if you think Gunther just happened to show up at the exact moment Seth Rollins had Paul Heyman set up for a stomp, you are not paying attention. Nothing in WWE happens by accident at this stage of the road to WrestleMania. Every move, every moment, every carefully timed entrance has a purpose. And Gunther's purpose on Monday night? To remind every single person on that roster and every fan watching from home that he is still the most physically dominant force in this company. Here's the thing about Seth Rollins that makes this whole situation so infuriating and so compelling at the same time. This man came back from injury burning with one singular obsession: Paul Heyman. Since his return at the Elimination Chamber, Rollins had been on a mission. He originally targeted Braun Breaker and Logan Paul, but Heyman was who he was truly after. Heyman had turned on people, manipulated the landscape, and Rollins wanted to give him one last stomp. Last word on pro wrestling, https://lastwordonsports.com/pro-wrestling/2026/04/01/the-reason-gunther-on-WWE-Raw, weeks of hunting, weeks of chaos. And on Monday night at Message, Rollins was right there. He had Heyman in the chair. The stomp was loaded. The moment the entire WWE universe had been waiting for was one boot away from happening. And then Gunther's music hit. Gunther made his return and cinched in a rear choke on Rollins, pushing him up against the announcer's desk as Rollins flailed about looking for an escape. As he passed out, Gunther pointed to the WrestleMania sign. Wrestling Incorporated. https://www.wrestling.com/2136267/WWE-Raw-medically-cleared-compete-attacked-Gunther, pointed to the sign. Do you understand how cold that is? Seth Rollins, a man who has main event WrestleMania, a former world heavyweight champion, one of the greatest performers of this generation, was just choked unconscious in the middle of the most iconic arena in wrestling history. And Gunther didn't celebrate. He didn't scream. He didn't roar at the crowd. He just pointed. Like it was a business transaction. Like Rollins was simply an item on a to-do list that needed to be checked off before April 18th. That right there should terrify you as a Seth Rollins fan. Because a man who attacks out of rage can be managed. A man who attacks out of ambition can be anticipated. But a man who attacks with zero emotion, with pure surgical precision, while pointing to the next destination like he's reading a map? That man is a different category of dangerous entirely. Now let's talk about the backstory here, because the layers to this go deeper than a lot of people are giving it credit for. Gunther was originally scheduled to battle Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 42. However, an injury to the legendary Lookator during the go-home episode of Raw ahead of the 2026 Royal Rumble seemingly put paid to those plans. For 11 Mania, https://411mania.com/wrestling/backstage-update-braun-breakers-medical-status-wrestlemania-vs-wrestlemania-42. So Gunther, the ring general, the career killer, one of the most dominant forces in WWE over the last several years, was sitting without a WrestleMania match. Without a stage. Without an opponent. A man of his stature, his track record, his absolute mastery inside that ring, had no destination for the grandest stage of them all. That is borderline criminal booking. And you know what makes it worse? Reports of a Rey Mysterio match at WrestleMania had fallen through, and Gunther had been absent from programming since his match against Dragon Lee. Yahoo Sports, https://sports.yahoo.com/wrestling/breaking-news/live/www-raw-reigns-gets-rex-reigns-return-gunther-reigns-return-gunther-reigns-gets-rex-reigns-return-gunther-reigns-return-gunther-reigns-html. Weeks without television time. Weeks on the sidelines while WrestleMania cards were being built around him. The ring general was being left out of his own coronation. And that kind of hunger? That kind of fury from a man who knows his worth and is being ignored? That is the most dangerous energy in professional wrestling. So what does WWE do? They put that hunger directly across from Seth Rollins. And suddenly WrestleMania 42 has one of the most intriguing, hard-hitting, physically compelling matches on the entire card. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because people are already asking, was this a creative decision or was Gunther doing Paul Heyman's bidding? Was the ring general a pawn or a player? The closing shot of the segment raised the question of whether Gunther was actually aligned with Heyman. The manager took yet another chair blow to the back from Rollins, but Gunther walked right by him like it was nothing. Yahoo Sports, https://sports.yahoo.com/wrestling/breaking-news/live/wwe-raw-results-grades-return-return-hyphen-reigns-return-return-hyphen-ganther-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-return-re just saved. He walked right past him. Ice cold. Eyes forward. Mission complete. So what does that tell us? It tells us that if Gunther is working with Heyman, it is strictly on Gunther's terms. The ring general does not take orders from Paul Heyman. The ring general does not serve anyone's agenda but his own. Heyman may have made a phone call, but Gunther answered that phone because it suited him, because Rollins gave him the spotlight he deserved, because pointing at that WrestleMania sign was Gunther's idea, not the Wiseman's. And now let's address something that the internet is buzzing about, the Braun Breaker angle. Because everyone assumed when Rollins came out at message that it would be Breaker who would answer. Breaker turned on Rollins back in October. The heat between those two was personal and very, very real. And here's the part that should have your blood boiling. Braun Breaker was reportedly backstage on Raw that very night. Call now, https://KLNow.com/www-wwe-booked-wwe-for-wrestlemania-42-being-hyphen-breaker-vs-hyphen-being-hyphen-medically-cleared-for whoever in the building. And WWE chose to go a different direction. According to Dave Meltzer, it was a creative choice on the part of the company to book Seth Rollins vs. Gunther for WrestleMania 42, not Breaker's medical status. For 11 Mania, https://411mania.com/wrestling/backstage-update-braun-breakers-medical-status-wrestlemania-42, WWE had opted not to fast-track a showdown between Breaker and Rollins at WrestleMania 42, reportedly wanting the proper TV time to build the match correctly at a later date. Call now, https://KLNow.com/wwe-booked-wwe-for-wrestlemania-42-despite-Braun-breaker-vs-hyphen-being-hyphen-medically-cleared-for who-being-hyphen Now let that sit with you for a second. Because on one hand, you can argue WWE made the right call. Rollins vs. Gunther is a WrestleMania dream match. These two men last met in 2019. 7 years of growth, 7 years of evolution, 7 years of championships and wars and legendary moments, and now they collide on the biggest stage of them all. That is a match that writes itself. That is a match that doesn't need months of TV time to feel important. You put those two in a ring at Allegiant Stadium and the match quality alone will carry it to 5 stars. But on the other hand, if you're a Braun Breaker fan, if you've been invested in that personal betrayal storyline since October, you have every right to feel cheated right now. That story had real emotional weight. That story had a clear beginning, middle, and the WrestleMania blow-off was supposed to be the end. And now it's been quietly shelved, pushed to later, whenever later is. The wrestling world is divided on this decision. Half the fanbase is electric for Rollins vs. Gunther. The other half is furious that one of the most personal grudge matches of the last year just got indefinitely postponed. Drop a comment right now, which side are you on? Are you here for Rollins vs. Gunther at WrestleMania? Or do you feel like WWE dropped the ball on Breaker? Because here's what I know. Regardless of how we got here, regardless of the injuries, the pivots, the creative reshuffles, what we witnessed at Madison Square Garden on Monday night was a statement. Seth Rollins, a man built of fire and chaos and pure competitive will, was shut down in the blink of an eye by a man who moves through this company like a force of nature. Backstage, in an interview with Jackie Redmond, Adam Pearce confirmed that Rollins is cleared and looking for vengeance, and then made Rollins vs. Gunther official for WrestleMania. Call now, https://KLNow.com/wwe-results-winners-march-30-202603 official. WrestleMania. Seth Rollins vs. Gunther. April 18, Las Vegas. And here is the question that nobody is truly answering yet: what version of Seth Rollins shows up in Vegas? Because the Seth who came back after months on the shelf was unhinged, reckless, driven by obsession rather than strategy. He was so locked in on Heyman that he walked straight into a chokehold he never saw coming. That obsession is a weapon, yes, but it is also a blind spot. And Gunther does not miss blind spots. The ring general prepares. He studies. He dissects. He is a man who beat Sheamus for 43 straight minutes and held the Intercontinental Championship longer than almost anyone in history. He has stood across from the best this company has to offer and left every single one of them horizontal. And now he gets Seth Rollins, a man coming in hot, coming in emotional, coming in with scores to settle on the grandest stage of them all. This match could be the match of the night at WrestleMania 42. It could steal the entire show. Or it could be the night the Ring General ends the Visionaries' WrestleMania run in the most brutal, efficient way imaginable. Either way, Seth Rollins got put to sleep at message. Gunther pointed to the sign. And in 2 weeks, Las Vegas is about to witness something unforgettable. If you think Seth Rollins gets his revenge at WrestleMania, comment below. If you think Gunther puts him to sleep for good at Allegiant Stadium, share this video, because the people need to be warned. I'm Wrestling News CC. The Ring General is coming, and Seth Rollins better wake up before it's too late.